How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Coding Tutor. Today we are going to show you how to install VS Code, how to install Python, so that you can get started with your coding journey. Let's get to it. First of all, as you might be able to see on our screen right here, I already have VS Code installed, right? That's because I've been coding for a while, but we're going to take you through the whole process. So you just want to search up VS Code, right? And something like this should be your first result, right? We get to it. And then, depending on your OS, you might want to install Mac OS, Windows x64, or if you're using Linux, Linux x64, right? But because I'm on Windows, I'm going to install the Windows 64 stable version, right? I'll just wait for it to install now. Right, so as we can see, I have the .exe right here. So I'm gonna open that file and accept the agreement because I don't have an option. I want to create a desktop icon. All this is good, and then install. Right. Now this should take some time, but it should be moving on pretty fast, right? As you can see here. Yep. And now we want to launch VS Code. And yeah, so this is really how your installation process should go, right? After that, you really want to decide what your environment looks like, right? And to do that, you can actually go into the settings. If you've newly installed VS Code, then you will have to go through the steps of picking your VS Code theme, and dark mode is the only way you should actually go, right? But besides that, the next step that we want to go through is installing the extensions, right? For that, because we want to start off with Python, so we just want to search up the Python extension and install this one, right? It's the most popular one, as we can see, 122 million downloads. So that's the one that we want to install, right? It's recommended that after you install an extension, you shut down VS Code and then restart and give it a chance to actually acknowledge the installation of the extension, right? So yeah, and with that, your VS Code should be set up. So I'm going to close VS Code right here, and I'm going to take you to the Python installation. Okay, install. Now this too is should be relatively easy, but yeah. So we just want to go on to the first link, right? Download Python. Now it depends on what project you're working on, and you might have a specific version, but really for the projects that we're going to do, we could just use the latest version that they have for Python, right? So yeah, this is the latest version of Python, right? Release date April 9th, 2024, and I am going to just download that. Right, really, we should actually go to downloads, and then you can choose the operating system, right? I'll choose Windows and download for Windows. Okay, yeah, and then just Windows 64-bit. I'll hit that download. Right, that should be downloading. Okay, now that we have the .exe. Yeah, so now that we have the .exe, we just want to open that file and run the installation. What you do want to do is use admin privileges, and you want to add python.exe to your path, right? I will install now. Okay, so as we can see now, our setup was successful, and we can just close, right? That is great. Now I'm just going to open a CMD, and really let me also see my environment variables. And so this is how you can check too, right? You can just search up path env, right? Sorry, or just path, and get the edit the system environment variables, right? We want to go on to environment variables, and then we want system environment variables, and there in path you should have Python 3.312, right? That should be your version. But even if you don't, that is easily changeable. I will close this and I will show you how to change it right now, right? So as you can see, my user variables have been updated, right? But my system variables haven't. So when I actually run a program, it's going to end up using 3.11, right? But I don't want that. So what I can do is I can actually just, I think they have the same paths till the very end. So I'll just take this path. I'll just copy it. Okay, and then paste that right here. Yep. Okay. Or maybe I'll create a new one. Right, paste that right here. Okay, and get the second one for 3.312. Okay, and paste that right here. And what is also essential is that we want to move these to the top. Okay, that's that, and this one should be second. Down, and that is okay. Okay, right, and now let's see. There we go. We have made it so that Python 3.12 is the version that our system is using. So that's pretty good. And like as you can see now, I just did Python in the CMD, and now I can basically code in Python, right? Bingo bango, we're done. So that is our Python installation, and now let's make sure that we can code just like that in VS Code too. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to go into my documents folder and just create a dummy script. Code, and yep, select folder. There we go. I'm just going to create a dummy script, which is where did it get created? Yep. Test run.py. Okay, and I will do print hello world. We can ignore these errors right now, and let's see. Before this, I want to go into the terminal and just check my Python version here, right? The way to check your Python version is also this. 3.1.12.3. Great. Okay. I want to exit out of that because that took me into the Python console. Okay. And then we can just run this. There we go. Right. That worked. And another way you can run it is Python test run.py. Great. So now we have VS Code set up, and we have the latest version of Python installed and ready to go. So now you and I can get working on any new projects that suit us, and let's get to it. Good luck, guys.